All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. These are the best setups that I'm looking at for this upcoming week. I'm not gonna lie, the market looks like ass, in my opinion. Nothing too crazy. I feel like there's not a lot of great setups, but there are maybe one or two that I will definitely be looking at just to see if we can potentially take a trade. We didn't take a trade last week, so that's why there was no video on Saturday, of course. But this week, hopefully, is different. So first one is EURCHF. If we see here, on the weekly, we are bullish. This is the higher high. And this is the higher low. We had this big push up last week. Ended up, well, price was already bullish, but it just ended up making a new high. Right? So what I'll be expecting is for a weekly retest to this area. That is a area of interest on the daily. That, of course, I'll show y'all to then have price push up. But as far as the weekly, this is how we're looking. No area of interest on the weekly for me. Yeah, nothing really here. But if we go down to the daily, then we see that this is a very strong area of interest. Oh, and I forgot one thing. This looks like a inverted head and shoulders. You got the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now confirmed because we did break above this neckline. So it would also be retesting this weekly neckline on the weekly. So, and I said weekly like 3 times there. But if we jump to the daily, we see that the daily is bullish. Higher high, higher low. Right? This is weekly neckline, but it is also a strong area of interest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it continues left as well. So this is probably my number one pair for this upcoming week. Weekly and daily are in sync. And we'll just be waiting for price to, I cannot get this. There it is. We'll just be waiting for price to come back, retest this area, and then potentially give us an entry to push up. So, and here's the EMA, underpriced on the daily, and is now underpriced on the weekly. So, EURCHF, first trade that I'm looking at. Next pair is AUDNZD. Here, if we jump to the weekly, we see we are bearish. This is the lower low. And this is the lower high. If we jump to the daily, we see that the daily is bearish as well. I actually think it's bearish because of, no, I'm tripping. It must have been another pair. I was gonna say I think it's bearish because of this big move from the past, but nah, I'm thinking of a different pair. But as we see here, daily is bearish. This is the lower low, and this is the lower high. We have a solid area of interest here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we can see price come back and react from. The daily EMA is above, and that's great because we're looking to sell. Price had already made its move. And as I always say, once price makes a lower low, we can expect a pullback to then continue. And a pullback will be right here into the strong area of interest that I just mentioned. So this one I like as well. 2 time frames in sync. Although this weekly EMA is underpriced, which of course it could potentially push price up, I think that for this upcoming week, we could see price continue to sell. Now that's not 100% guaranteed, but we're just going off, 2 time frames in sync and the strategy. So I really like this pair as well. This is probably my second favorite pair. Next pair is EURGBP. This is where it gets like, I'm not really feeling these markets, but I do think that with this big push up, price could end up giving us a push down this upcoming week. So on the weekly, we are bearish, lower low, lower high. And if we jump to the daily, we are bullish, and I believe the 4 hours bullish as well. But I'm liking these just for counter trend trades. Now, of course, if price comes all the way back here, we got to see what the 4 hours looking like, because it might go bearish. But I do like these for counter trend trades, either to this area, or there is an area up here that I was looking at earlier. I feel like you can mark an area of interest up here somewhere. Right? It's multiple touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to see how price comes and reacts to this area. And of course, if the 4 hour is, well, 4 hour would be bearish. So if the 4 hour shifts bullish while we're in this area, then of course I'll look to enter a trade. because then we'd have the daily and the 4 hour in sync. But as far as what I'm looking for soonish, it would probably just be maybe a counter trend trade on the 1 hour or lower time frames, and that's even if this is a decent risk to reward. So let's say price, what's going on? Let's say price comes back up and then gives us an entry and we hop in it. See, to this first level, it's not even worth taking it. But to the second level, I would say, yeah, that's pretty worth it. So just got to keep my eye on this one. Next one is Euro USD. Same thing, big push up on the weekly. The weekly is now bullish. Big push up on the daily as well, bullish. So I'm just expecting a pullback to maybe this area, although I don't really like this area of interest. I feel like it's not that strong. So what I'm looking for mainly is this area of interest down here. And of course, this could happen either next week or in the next 2 weeks, but I'm just going to be looking for a counter trend trade on the lower time frames. As I always say, if price starts trading sideways and then gives us a shift of structure and engulfing, then that's when I'll look to enter on probably the 1 hour, to be honest. So right now, price doesn't look like, well, it does look like it's trading sideways and it gave us a shift of structure, but I would want to see more, right? A little more movement, doing this and that, and then give us what we're looking for. So this one, again, just like EURGBP, just going to have to sit and wait, not rushing at anything, and then see how price is reacting. It is good that we have the weekly and daily bullish though. Maybe this is an area of interest over here. Potentially, right? Could be, but I don't know. I think it's coming down to that first area of interest that I have right here, because this is a big move. So I can imagine price will have a pretty big pullback, but it's the markets. They can do whatever they want. So Euro USD, that's how we're looking. Yeah. CAD JPY. Now this one, as y'all know, it was one of the pairs from last week. What I was looking for was to see if price would make it back into this area of interest and then sell. Seems like it didn't want to do that. Price just wanted to sell. I know the tariffs probably had something to do with that. But this week, I still have the same area of interest marked up. The weekly still bearish. This is the new lower low. And this will be the lower high. Weekly still bearish. Daily's bearish. So even if price pushes up above this level, I'm still going to be considering it bearish. This is the level I'm talking about. I'm still going to be considering it bearish because I just don't consider this as structure. But of course, if you do, follow your own opinion. But I don't consider this as structure. So even if price pushes up, I'll still consider this bearish, which then I'll look for an entry, of course, if price enters that area of interest. Now, I don't see any other areas of interest now that price has pushed lower. Maybe something like this. This honestly wouldn't be a horrible one. But again, we just have to wait and see if price even makes it up into this area, just because the way the Canadian dollar has been trading looks like it's just been tanking. So we have this area, we have this other area up here. Of course, I'll set an alert and then just see how prices move and see if it wants to respect that area or if it wants to break through it. And I think that is pretty much it. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs this week. Again, the markets don't look super great, but I think EURCHF and AUDNZD are our best bet if we're looking to, of course, make money this week. So those are the pairs that I'm going to be looking to trade this week. Of course, as always, in the comments, let me know what you guys are trading, because I might have missed a pair. If a pair looks good to y'all, let me know down in the comments and I will check them out. But that being said, y'all have a safe, blessed week. Let's lock in, let's get some money, and let's go be great. I'll catch you on the next video.